What do you mean?
Alright, we're back. We're playing some Ghostface. Today we are doing a little bit of a review for my my game here. See if we can use this as an opportunity to learn from my mistakes and see if there's any way to kind of pick out certain things and realize that maybe there's like a couple of spots that I could definitely improve at with Ghostface. Now we're getting some early stalk in. This is pretty solid stuff. You want to kind of go around the walls there because, you know, they know when they see you, they're going to start playing hide and go seek instead of just playing the game. So you have to kind of keep that in mind and try to stay in cover as much as you can. Lean off when you can. I did intend to mark there, which was decent because we want to get them marked early so that they're able to want to drop all the pallets, which is the idea, right? We want them to drop pallets and like do all that other stuff, which we somehow didn't get the swing there. Maybe I swung a little too early, possibly. I'm not entirely sure why it does that. I feel like it should have connected there, but fine. So he's just kind of waiting there for some reason, but he basically overcommitted to that, so I should be able to get it. But he's still somehow, yeah, he is forced to give me the pallet, which is exactly what we wanted. We got Shaq pallet out of the way. He's failing at blinding, so, you know, we're just going to go ahead and continue to follow him until we go into the, of course, yet another pallet, which he's, I don't really know what he's trying to do, but we should be able to get yet a down, actually, which is really solid for me. And then we just get the pick up there, because we know that there really shouldn't be anybody around in order to save him. Now, of course, gens are going to fly, because even though the chase is literally... even though the chase can be that quick, it really doesn't matter. Gen speed is still insane, so you just have to kind of do what you have to do in that situation. I can't even blame myself for that one. So we do get the M1, but I realize that I am overextending because they're already like flying in for the save. Another one is already flying in for the save. And we do have to try to utilize this to our advantage. You just go right around Steve to at least pull another pallet out of it so we can get Vittorio to drop it, which is of course what we want. Get Spirit Fury charged up, and then of course Steve is closing in for a body block, which is exactly what we want. Now, of course, because of Batum being Batum, there's just a long section that I just can't pass through without giving him any free distance. So we just kind of shroud up and then use to break down the wall to be able to go through, and then try to get to where the school is. Now, we're doing all right, I would say. I don't think there's any way I could have done it any differently. The problem is that this area is the main building, which of course has that ridiculous, you know, fence vault that they can just kind of keep using. But thankfully, we do have Spirit Fury, and we're obviously just continuing to follow him because he's just being extremely greedy and not actually trying to, you know, use his brain at all. So because of that, we can use it to our advantage. We get the pickup here, and then we go ahead and hook him on this side of the map now. The plan was to try to use at least one of the sides to be on defense, because this variation of Batum Preschool is very difficult to utilize, especially because you don't really have a great gen spread. So we're trying to at least go around and kind of gauge where they're going to go to next. We do get some stalking a bit on Steve there, but we're not really able to catch anybody else. We just kind of want to use this, but they somehow were able to run right past me without me even hearing them or seeing them, which was really strange. I wasn't sure what that was about, so we just continue to ignore their teammates for now. We just go ahead and follow them through. There's not really much he can really do here because we do have Spirit Fury, and we do wait it out long enough so the base kit BT will be removed. Now, we just have to, just judging by the speed of the gens right at this moment, we already know that we have to just try to get this guy out of the game as soon as possible. So that's exactly what we do. We put them on the hook, and we got him out of the game. So that's really good for me. Now, here's where I think that there was a bit of a fumble, because I knew that the young Jin was just kind of around, but then for some reason they just completely just disappeared. So I just found that a little bit weird, which maybe perks, I don't know. They always have a perk for everything, so maybe it could be a perk or something like that, or for some reason I just didn't see any or hear it. I don't know what's going on there, but we tried to check on this gen, and it's already going. I didn't even see them on the gen, of course, so they're trying to tap it and stand behind me to try to, like, I guess BM or whatever have you. You know how survivors are. Yet another gen flies, so I mean it's already about 4 minutes and about 40 seconds according to the recording here. So within 4 minutes we lost about 3 gens. That's I mean, this feels pretty quick. It didn't really seem like that made a lot of sense, but it's a good thing we were able to get them out of the game as soon as possible. So now we're down to 2 gens. So yeah, gen speeds are quite rapid in this particular match. Unfortunately, because this is the House of Pain, I can't make that lunge. So I tried to at least mind game it here, but then I realized it is House of Pain. They'll just rotate right back around and then be able to make the vault again for free. So that was just a misplay on my part, and of course, there's not really a lot I could have done in that situation, because I was trying to go for somebody who was at least injured to try to apply some pressure. But then we also noticed the Steve, so we at least make sure we mark them up as much as possible, but we're also getting revealed across the entire map, which was a little bit strange. It's just Ghostface reveal mechanics are a little bit buggy, honestly. At least it seems that way. I mean, maybe they claim it's as intended, but it seems very, very buggy. They're also rushing out yet another gen, so it's about 2 gens that are already 99. So we're losing a lot of gen progress for some reason. I just was very confused as to how that's really possible. And I'm not really entirely sure what happened there. I felt like I played well, but I mean the gens were flying very quickly, and as you can see, they just immediately run to just tap this one again. So it's not really a lot I can make happen here. Now, thankfully, he's getting cocky, so that gives us the opportunity to use our Spirit Fury and Enduring, so we can quickly get the down and then put them on the hook right in front of us, so that we're able to at least defend this particular gen for just a bit and start to try to snowball, because the gens are just kind of flying. I'm not entirely sure how the gens are this quick. I don't really recall any of them having any toolboxes, but gens are just flying, so we were at least able to get the knockdown. They did try to get greedy, which then obviously gave me some pretty solid pressure, because now we have 2 people on hooks, which means that the young gen is going to have to fly off the gen, which we know that the one in the school was the one that was the most progressed. Now, I'll probably try to review the builds after this gameplay, but I'm not really sure how it was so fast. I mean, because it seems a little strange. Maybe it was 2 people at a time, but even then, I just don't think it could be that quick. So we decide to at least get an M1 on the Yunjin, so that if they end, we can actually be able to hear them running around. We know Steve's kind of just flying off into the sunset, so I figure that they were going to have to at least go for a save, which I kind of assumed. But then I realized if I leave Yunjin, I'm going to just lose the game entirely, because the gen is already going crazy. So we have to make sure we knock her down first. And then we kick the gen so it can continue to regress while Steve decides to go for the save. And that is the right play in that situation, because I realized that we literally are down to literally almost 0 gens already because of who knows why. So we were just able to at least it's a good thing I had gotten the Victoria out of the game when I did, because if I did not, I would not be able to even leverage the game at all. The game would have ended already. Like with this video, this gameplay wouldn't even have existed, right? Because it's just a mere fact that, you know, any other player more than likely would have just lost, and it would have just been the end of it. But this is why you watch, right? You know, you watch to see a master at work, right, with Ghostface. So as you can see here, we're trying to just kind of stay within proximity. They're going to have to take the time out to heal. The gen is all the way across the map, so the gen spread is pretty terrible. And I just can't go for any stalking on the Steve right now, because there's obviously the one on the hook and the Steve in front of me, so there's no way I'll be able to get any stalking in. We just have to M1. We're just kind of forced into that situation. They pre-drop, which means I can charge up my power now, and then we use that to try to mind game it here. But third-person cameras mean they can just see what you're doing, so they already saw that I dropped down the stairs to try to throw them off, but it didn't really matter. So I figured we can at least try to crouch here, try to hide our image, and then we go ahead and try to follow through here. Now you're gonna see here once again they're gonna try to calm corner, do whatever they can to try to waste time once again. Very sweaty play, but as expected, especially when gen speeds are this insane. And you can see they're immediately trying to fly over for the generator. Now, thankfully, I was able to, stop them before they were able to stop the regression, which gives me time. They waste another pallet, which means Spirit Fury will be charged. Steve is injured. He's not really in the area. We can focus on Zarina. Steve is going to have to get off of what he's doing and go for the pickup on the Yunjin more than likely. Now, I had decided to start stalking her because I figured she more than likely may heal herself. and we want to make sure she's 99 just in the mirror, just in the case that, you know, for some reason a syringe, a med kit, something that just comes out of nowhere and heals them. So we need to be able to prevent that. We break out a shroud because we hear them we hear the down person crawling. So I figured this is the perfect opportunity to put them on the hook over to where I'm at to try to drag them back in. Now this was a solid play on my part. We're gonna put them out here where there's like really no defense besides that one vault, which we will be able to more than likely be able to counter. Because of the angle, and there's no pallets in the main building, but we once again have to check on this generator because it is the one with the most amount of progress. They would have to start a brand new one from scratch, and that in the span of time that I've been over here. Now, thankfully, we, you know, try to stay behind the walls here, which is very smart on my part. We don't want to completely be uncloaked because we do want to throw them off and make them think that it's safe. The Steve ended up healing, which is completely fine. He's not on the gen for that, so we decided to go check on the other gen and try to pull the Zarina from wherever she is to go for the heal there, or go for the pickup rather. So because we have the Night Shroud, it does give us the drop on them. We just completely downed them, so there was no reason to even stalk them at all. Because if I had tried to even stalk them, I would have guaranteed they would have just pre-dropped, and then they would have made it across the map by the time I would have been able to reach them. Because by the time I would even get down there, they would more than likely pre-drop, and then they would completely go for the free vault. It would have just been better to just go for the M1 as normal. And as you can see, this gen already has a huge amount of progress, but that's due to the fact that I wasn't in the area for long. So that gen amount makes sense compared to the others. Now, because it got the unhook within the front of the school, I had to just I just assumed that the Yun Jin would go down for the gen again. We also know that the other one gave up. We check on the gen, is still sparking, so that means we're now able to leverage the game to our side through the strategies. As you can see, we were able to immediately get that first person out of the game, as you should, in order to at least be able to balance out the leverage here. Now we're also kind of you can see me kind of moving around here. I was listening in, hearing them like an injured survivor like in the area, and we also were getting revealed probably by the Steve. But I figured we at least need to go for the injured person and try to take a look around for where the Steve is. And what I had done here, you're gonna actually notice, because I had figured, okay, we down them, we leave them next to the gen that's regressing, and then we just try to look around. But you're gonna see in a bit that I actually check on the lobby. Which, keep in mind that if this was solo queue, the people that did end up getting killed, they wouldn't stay in the lobby. Which I'll try to cut forward so you can actually see that. So at this moment here is when I checked the lobby, because I was actually quite curious. And as you saw real fast, I mean, it wasn't on the screen for very long because I wanted to start to take a look around and also give them the bags real quick. But I'll show it on the screen again. After we get the quick bags in, because you know they were really they were really rushing out those gens, so I wanted to make sure I made my got my point across. You got to make sure to disrespect them, So after I hooked them, I wanted to make sure I took a quick look, and as you can see, there's 3 of them. I'm gonna actually see if we can pause. Well, I mean, if you want to pause it and see it again, you can. Like I was still in the match, like kind of think to myself like, yeah, that's definitely like 3 people. I kept it pretty fast, unfortunately, because I didn't want to like lose like vision of if I could find a Steve or whatever have you. But the fact that there's still 3 people after Vittorio's death and still in the lobby just completely tells me that it was definitely a 3 to 4 man, at least a 3 man, definitely. And we get the M1 there. I figured he gave up, but then he starts running through me for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why they're doing that. Now, I'm gonna leave this portion in because I do quite well here, I would say, but just due to the map spawns, it's just kind of unfortunate. Like this pallet should have kind of been removed. I probably should have broken it when I rotated around the other way, but I had assumed maybe I would be able to get the M1, but they just ran completely around the hedge and somehow was able to rotate all the way around, so it was a bit of a misplay. I should have honestly just broken the pallet and keep them zoned back there, because as you can see, like now they just make a free window for no reason, which leads to now House of Pain. I think that's what they call it. And then it's pretty impossible to do anything here because now there's yet another pallet. So big misplay. I could have easily gotten the 4K if I had just broke the pallet around where Shaq was and keep him zoned there. Now, I tried to cloak up and see if I could try to throw him off, but then he just gets gifted hatch as usual, because his behavior doesn't, for some reason, has a system to always give them hatch, so it is what it is. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at the builds. And as you can see, there's like none for gen speeds. Like none of them. The only one that really had anything like crazy was Vittorio, but the other ones didn't even have gen speed. So it was a bit confusing honestly. I wasn't really sure what happened there. So let's go ahead and jump into the next gameplay just to see what else we can improve on. Now, as I've said many times, I consider myself to be one of the best Ghostface players on YouTube, like 100%. Now, obviously, maybe not on the leaderboards per se, because I do play other killers as well. Like, if I were grinding the game to really get to, like, the number 2 spot or whatever have you, and that kind of thing, maybe I would probably be up there, but I would consider myself, at least fundamentally, one of the better Ghostface players, and mainly because I figured, like, just the game knowledge, and awareness and stuff like that, and utilizing Ghostface with his tools, which this is a part of getting to that point of really being one of the best, I would say, at the character, is really taking the time out to look over your games and see what mistakes you're making and understand how to improve on them. And this is definitely one of those examples. I'm definitely going to use this as an example to see what we can do differently. Now, because of our power, we do want to wait till it's charged so we can actually get the mark off. And then we actually get a pallet, which they did decide to run backwards or something, which is good. That gives us a little bit of extra distance that we need. And we can just clear out these extra pallets. Now, we do go for the lunge there because I had figured that they would want to reach the next pallet. And we can then, even if they dropped it, it would have given me what I needed. Now, I had assumed that they more than likely are going to be where the other, like, the thing is like where I spawned was a very weird spawn, and then obviously the corrupt kind of had a weird split. So we were kind of using what we had here in that situation, especially Ormond, which is considered a better Ghostface map due to high ground and being able to get stalking from up top alongside with Yamoka Estate. To be fair to Ghostface and his ability, but personally, I'm not a humongous fan of the map. It's manageable, I would say, if you can strategize correctly, and try not to lose control of the middle gen. Because if you do lose control of the middle gen, you pretty much lose the map, and then you would have to try to shift it some other way. Now, I tried to go for stalking on Cheryl, but I realized it just wasn't worth it. I wanted to make sure I rotated back over to see if they went for the save, which it seems like they did not. So I had decided to go right back over to the main area to make sure we let this gen regress, because we cannot lose our progress. Now, you may notice that Cheryl did end up getting healed, like very, very quickly. So I was like, no, that's not a syringe. That definitely is inner healing. So I had pretty much figured that out. Now, I had also assumed that I would be able to lean off of the wall. It just didn't let me. But they do end up getting the second save because Cheryl was busy worrying about doing the inner healing play. This one's trying to Sabo, which we just immediately get rid of that. We just yank her off, and then we put her on the same hook there where she'll be eliminated from the game. Now she decides to pre-drop the pallet for me. That gives me my power if I needed it, and we also can get Spirit Fury. We start to stalk her up. Now, we know that that's definitely inner healing, right? Because she did fly out of a locker, if I'm not mistaken. She did get it very quickly, got healed with no one else around because they were working on the gens. And we created a lot of solid pressure because we are utilizing these strategies and playing ruthlessly as you should, okay? Because keep in mind that we don't you shouldn't play to a rule book if the survivors don't even play the rules. Like they will always run meta and sweaty stuff and try to make sure you have a bad time. Now, as you can see here, once again, somebody else is like trying to. I was trying to actually get stalking. That's why I crouched there to try to get some more stalk and not get revealed as easily. But unfortunately, you know. But that goes to show, like, they're breaking totems and stuff like that. They may have, like, had quick and quiet, because as you're going to see, like, they, once again, fly into a locker to heal again. So I kind of had figured that maybe it's quick and quiet, maybe with inner healing or something like that. I figured there's no reason for me to continue trying to look for them on other gen flies anyway. So I figured we at least get the free pickup here and put the same person back on the hook again, if I'm not mistaken, or at least put this person on the hook again for the first time, I should say. Just so we can at least have somebody on the hook, and then we just try to check the lockers in case they're like hiding in there for whatever reason. because I had figured that I don't want to focus too much on how they miraculously disappeared, so I figured we at least just try to stay nearby the hook so that we can at least defend the generator, as well as the fact that we actually spot what it looks like to be the Yunjin. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but the Yunjin, I believe, just going around there, which we just marked them. They vault. I think they're kind of panicking, but they did want to use their lithe. We do have Spirit Fury active, and this is why I run this particular build, is that because it's more viable and more versatile, especially for my chase, the fact that a lot of maps are very, very pallet dense. So just due to pallet spawns being what they are, like, I definitely want to at least be able to be confident in the fact that I can still have a counter compared to, say, using my play with your food build, because of the fact that it's very, very dependent on a particular playstyle, a very snowball heavy playstyle, and also very reliant on managing a lot of different things at once, like stalking progression, as well as stacks and whatnot. It's a lot of different things that have to come into play to really fully utilize the build to its maximum potential. Now, we do walk away from there so that they can try to go for a save, because from this moment I had really noticed, like, from the behavior that we've noticed from these survivors, they're playing extremely stealthy, extremely scared, like they're not really trying to play it like with any risk at all. So that's why we're trying to just kind of, utilize our ability here, and stay, watching to see them go for the save, because they will go for the save. They're going to. They don't want the second save to happen again. So that's why we're like trying to lean here. Now you're gonna notice here that I'm like leaning while crouched, and it wasn't letting me get the stock. That's why I don't recommend you guys to always be crouching when you go for stocks and stuff like that. We are also body blocking the pallet here, just so that they're not able to use it, and then we can go ahead and just get the free pickup here. Which the other one kind of ran off to go hide, which I can only imagine is going to kind of hurt them in the end. Now we go ahead and check on the main gen again. We just want to make sure we have defense on it, and then we go from up top to try to we activate our shroud and give us a little bit of some to like throw them off or whatever. And then it'll give us the opportunity to try to figure out where the other one is. We try to get a little bit more stalking on the Cheryl in the meantime, but we're specifically focusing on getting this particular survivor out of the game as soon as possible, because we just kind of have to. They are going to utilize live again, so that means they're not really going to go to a pallet. They're going to go to the other one that is not really that great for them. And they decide to go for a window vault, which honestly just works in my favor. We can completely eliminate them from the game, and then we can just continue to go ahead and get them out of the game. Now, this is all through utilizing the strategies, because you do have to keep an awareness of your survivors and like what they're trying to do, because they got to keep in mind that they also have strategies they're trying to utilize. So you can notice that these two survivors have been trying to just just hide all game, not really really play risky. They just try to get healed out in the lockers and whatnot. Surprisingly, I don't think there's any head on. Now, we were able to catch them off guard here, because what they like doing is walking and running to try to throw people off. But from what I can tell here, they're not really that strong in chase, because they do end up dropping the pallet. I don't really need to break it at all. They are marked, and we also have Spirit Fury, so we're pretty much good. We don't have to recharge anything. We're good. They're gonna vault, which is fine. And then we do end up getting the M1, which this one actually decides to reveal, giving me the advantage and the information that I need. We still have Spirit Fury, but ideally we want to get the M1 before they stun me with the enduring hit. For Spirit Furies, because it would be it's a lot stronger. I've seen somebody use a build like this, and they just completely wasted their Spirit Fury, because they were completely not like they were, as you can see right here. Actually, they ran into the locker again, so I think it might have been inner healing again. But they had used Spirit Fury when the survivor was healthy, so it was kind of like you kind of wasted the perk, because the strength comes from the fact they don't know you have it. So by utilizing it in that aspect to kind of like really surprise them with it, it really gets you the down very easily, very quickly, among other things. And obviously keep in mind that it's just a great build for Ghostface, especially because even if you have them exposed and whatnot, it definitely solves with that. And as you can see here, we do end up nodding and celebrating, because it was a good game. We definitely were able to show off a couple different things, really able to showcase my my mindset at the time and what I had noticed automatically. and that's through it's the game sense and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys will stay tuned for the next Ghostface gameplay. And you know, do all the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things for me. And we also have memberships available if you want to get any access to exclusive content. That being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed it.